Greetings! I'm on trail and I am not in Washington anymore. In fact, I am in Northern California. This is kind of going to be a long talk here because I need to explain the whirlwind of adventure I have been on in these past 3 days to get to this point. Miracles have happened. So let's just jump straight into it. After tagging the border, I backtracked 30 miles to Hart's Pass. We were hiking with this great guy called Recon, and he told us that his father is going to be picking him up at Hart's Pass, and we might be able to get a ride to Interstate 20, just the major road there, where we could go through a series of probably hitches, buses, towns, a lot of work to get to Seattle. We got back to Hart's Pass. We met Recon's dad, Rex, absolute legend. Recon and Rex, I owe you guys big time. They not only gave us a ride out of Hart's Pass, but they took us straight into Seattle, which was a 5.5 hour drive. They were also going to Seattle, so it worked out, but they were amazing enough to take us along with them. They even dropped us off at the hotel that we were staying at. So 3 days ago, got to Seattle, stayed the night. The next day, 2 days ago, we jumped on a bus that was going to take us from Seattle to Redding in Northern California. The bus goes from Seattle to Portland, switch buses, overnight bus from Portland to Redding. That was a 14.5 hour bus ride, but in the middle of the night, at one of the planned stops, the drivers were supposed to swap, and the new driver wasn't there. Turns out he was sleeping, and he lives an hour and a half away. So we sat in this bus waiting for 3 to 4 hours for this new driver to come. And that was in the middle of the night. It was miserable. New driver comes. It took him like half an hour. He couldn't even get the bus started. I was questioning our safety. Anyways, eventually he figures it out. We get to Redding. Instead of arriving at 4:30 in the morning, we arrive at 8:30 in the morning. We go straight to breakfast at a lovely little diner, and I order breakfast, and I'm looking at ways to get to the town of Burney. And I find out that there is a direct bus from Redding to Burney, and it was leaving in 20 minutes. I scarf down my breakfast, run back to the bus station, jump on this bus, turned out to be free, and it was an hour and a half drive from there to Burney. And then I get to Burney, do my grocery shopping, mail forward a resupply box, and then I had to get a hitch from the town of Burney 7 miles down the highway to the trail. And I got a hitch within 2 minutes from a lovely mother and her daughter, I'm guessing. And now I'm here. It's been non-stop gung-ho whirlwind craziness. And I probably slept for 3 hours on the bus last night, terrible sleep. But now here I am. And it's about 3 o'clock. It's hot as hell. It's in the 90s. And I'm hiking. Woof. And then there's one other detail to add. Pineapple Boy, why are you in Burney? Shouldn't you be at Castle Crags, where you had skipped from the Sierras? That's like 85 miles away. What are you doing in Burney? Well, I made the decision. I'm gonna skip those miles. And I don't feel bad about it at all, because I've got my wife and many friends that are gonna be in Truckee 11 days from now. So I had to pick a place on trail that was far enough to maximize miles and still push myself ridiculously hard, but get to Truckee on time so I can meet everyone. So I say goodbye to those miles, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun in Truckee. Don't feel bad about it at all. So I'm by myself, no longer with Lab Rat and U-Turn. They went to Chester, and I'm hiking towards Chester right now. So they're ahead of me, but we will reunite in Truckee and go into the Sierra section together. So I'll be without them for a little bit, but miss them already and excited to reconnect pretty soon. And that's it. So I'm officially a southbound hiker, not going north anymore. It feels funny, feels different, but this is my final 600, 650 miles. I think about 600. So it's amazing. It's gonna be hot, hot, hot. But yeah, so I'm hiking. Let's go. Just a couple last mentions. Last mentions. One, I sadly had to part ways with one of my 3 original water bottles that I have been carrying since Mexico. It's the one I use in front, my little guy that I use for everything. It was growing some really nasty spots that my guess was they were mold. So for my own personal health and well-being, I got rid of it. But I've still got my other 2 going strong in the back. Those ones still have some life in them. Another mention is I was able to stitch up the massive gaping hole that I had on my shoulder, but then I ran out of thread. So I've still got a few more holes that Well, it's 8 p.m. The sun is setting. I've set up camp and I'm about to eat. And for the first time in my 4 months on the Pacific Crest Trail, I am camping by myself. Completely alone. It's good to be alone. Beautiful sunrise this morning. I've got Mount Shasta behind me, Mount Lassen ahead of me, and today I'll be going through Mount Lassen National Park, I think. I think it's a national park. Anyways, it's already hot. Kind of smells like smoke a little bit. And when I walk over lava rocks, I can feel the heat radiating up towards me. It's gonna be a hot day. It was a hot night. I slept without my rainfly on my tent, even though there were some clouds and some thunder in the distance. And then at 2 in the morning, there was a heavy sprinkle for like no more than 10 minutes. It woke me up. Got up, fire drill, put the rainfly over my tent, and then it stopped raining. I had a feeling it would be like that. Anyways, the terrain out here is pretty flat, so I'm hoping I can do some bigger miles in these parts, but we're definitely not in Washington anymore. I feel like I'm in the desert. I saw a rattlesnake yesterday. And I was just thinking, oh man, now I gotta look out for these things again. Ugh. But hopefully I get into some more forest soon, because like I said, 3 weeks in Washington and then coming straight here, not very impressive. But here we go. Hi, remember me? It's Desert Pineapple. I can't believe that 4 days ago I was standing in Canada and now I'm out here. What a trip. I think earlier this morning I said I was going through Lassen. Lassen is tomorrow. Today I'll be making a pit stop in the town of Old Station. Hopefully they got milkshakes, and then I want to hike out a little bit further after Old Station. So hoping to do around 30 miles today, but we will see, because it is a scorcher. It is so hot. Anyways, walking through Hat Creek right now. Hopefully it doesn't catch on fire. Bye-bye. Relief. I just heard news that in Washington they're about to close the PCT north of Stehekin, and I think all the way from there to around Rainy Pass, because a new fire had broken out right next to the trail. Pretty wild. I'm glad I got through there when I did. Very lucky. And then I was just at the Hat Creek lookout point. There's a parking lot there. And I was talking to just a couple sightseers about fires, and they said, oh, did you see the one over there? And they pointed to the north. It was literally right where I came from, and you could see probably a smallish plume of smoke coming out, and it was literally like must be right near Burney. Straight shot. And you know, I think I mentioned this morning I woke up, I could smell some smoke, so maybe it must have been a lightning strike yesterday evening, last night, when it was kind of storming. It's fire season. Be careful. All right, Pineapple here with today's surf report. It's 92 degrees out. Partly cloudy, light wind coming out of the southwest, and conditions are perfect. Everyone out there is getting tubed. Lava tubed. Well, that was cool. Tubed. Felt so good down there. I read that the temperature averages around like 47 degrees, and it felt amazing. It was like being in a beer cave. You could even see your breath down there. Wish I could stay longer, but I gotta keep going. I'm really close to the town of Old Station, and I'm gonna pop in. There is, I think, like a gas station that's open till 7, and I think it's about 5 right now. So I'm gonna hang out there, probably grab a beer. I'm gonna cook food, have dinner, and I'm gonna try to make it a few more miles after that. So the day rolls on. So I thought that I only had about 4 miles to hike after stopping at the gas station, but I misread my GPS, and it's more like 7 or 8 miles, which means I've got to go for about an hour longer than I had planned, which means I'm gonna do a little night hiking today. It's all good, at least it's cooling down. Whew. Good morning. I got into camp last night just before 9:30, so I had a good 2.5, almost 3 miles of hiking in the dark with my headlamp. It's getting darker earlier now, and it's really dark in the mornings. Like this morning, I actually had to use my headlamp and turn that on so I could pack things up and get ready. It's just so dark. But yeah, got in late, set up my tent, climbed inside, got situated, and right when I laid down, it started to gently rain. That was nice. And it was kind of on and off, little bouts of soft rain almost all night. I liked it. And camped alone again, but that didn't even really matter since it was so late by the time I set up camp. It is just, it's empty out here. There are not many hikers around. There are 2 other southbound hikers that I've been kind of leapfrogging with, and that's it. I passed 3 northbound hikers yesterday, so going in the other direction. I talked to more civilians than hikers, so I'm definitely getting my solitude out here, and I kind of like it for now. It's a nice change in pace, something new, something fresh. So today I will walk through Lassen Volcanic National Park. There'll be some cool stuff to see. There is a steaming hot geyser I'll get to go check out, and I'm excited. Never been to this park. National parks are the coolest, so that's awesome. And then tomorrow I'll be getting into the town of Chester, where I sent myself a food supply box. I hope I'm able to get it tomorrow. I think it's supposed to arrive at the post office at some point tomorrow, so we'll see. I don't know if I'm gonna stay the night in Chester or continue to hike out later that day, but I should get in by late morning and or noon, probably noon, and yeah, I guess it just depends on my food box, but I'm gonna take some time to relax, treat myself a little bit, and yeah, let's go. There's rain falling, thunder is just ripping overhead, and I just got to the turnoff to go see this geyser. And I was gonna pass, but then I can see all this steam rising up out of the earth, and I gotta go. This looks too cool. It's pouring. It's 6 a.m. It's very dark, and I'm walking to Chester. Town day, kinda. See ya. Would you pick me up?